Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I thought I should share about budgeting. I know it might feel like it's a bit late, right? But we've gone through the first month, we've gone through January. Have you set a budget actually for the year or for the month, maybe a few months? Have you set a budget? Did you stick to your January budget? If not, why not? If you don't mind, you can share in the comment section, right? However, I thought I should just come in and share another tool, right? There's a lot of tools out there for budgeting. You can just have a spending plan that just shows you, okay, this is how much I'm getting, this is how much I'm spending, where, how, whatever. I think I once shared a spending plan. However, you can also then have pockets where you say a certain percentage goes to saving, a certain percentage goes to this, right? So that's another thing that you can do. So I thought I should share one that I learned from a webinar we had at work around finances and getting your finances in order. So this tool was interesting for me because I've never looked at it that way. It's similar to 20-30-10 rule, something like that. It's similar to something like that, right? So how you can do it, right? If you have not started budgeting and maybe you want to try something else, this is a tool that I thought I should share again. So 10%, so you obviously know how much you're getting, that is 100%. And then from that, from what comes into your bank account, right? Don't calculate the gross, rather calculate the net, what you get at the end, right? So 10% can go towards investing. Investing is obviously putting it into vehicles that make you more money, whether it's buying shares, investing in bonds or something like that. So whatever it is that investing means to you, so it's not necessarily saving into an account, it's more around tools or investment options that actually give you back money, right? So you can set aside 10% for that. And then there's a 10% that you can place as money that you are saving to spend. So it can constitute an emergency fund, right? You can decide to put a 10% every month away and let it keep building. If no emergency comes up, keep putting that 10% away, right? Put that 10% away, that goes towards spending. So you can either decide I'm saving to spend on buying a fridge or buying a big ticket item. You're saving it to spend it. So it's not necessarily money that you're just putting away just for the sake of putting it away or investing it, right? Because we've already had 10% for investment. This is saving to spend. You can either, for me, it feels like you making sure that you stay away from instant gratification, right? Rather than buying something on credit or something like that, this time you're saying, I'm gonna save 10% every month for however long, as long as I don't yet need the money, I'm gonna save it in order to spend on something big or an emergency fund. We all know emergencies happen. Sometimes we don't have the funds. So it's good to just keep putting this away. And if something breaks, if something happens, you have money away. Then, excuse me for looking to the side. I'm looking at my notes. So then there's another 10% on investing in yourself. This is putting away money for yourself to grow. It can either be for studies, or it doesn't have to be like formal studies as well. If for some reason you don't know how to swim, that is money that we are putting away for that. You're putting this money away for the day that you find a place where you're going to learn to swim, and it's towards a new skill. So it can be to a new skill, it can be to studying towards something, it can be a short course, anything, investment in you, right? So that's another 10%. And then we have 10% that you can put aside. So 10% can be budgeted for joy money. This is money that you are splurging, right? Whatever it is that brings you joy, that 10% is for that. So that's what you need to do with that 10%. Also with that, maybe this month you put away the 10%, and maybe you decided to be a homebody or you decided not to do what you find that gives you joy, right? you can still put away another 10%, join those 10%, use it for joy money. So this is guilt, it's also called guilt-free money. Use it as you please. That 10% is for you, it's for your enjoyment. So that's another one, 10% for that. And then we set aside 55% budgeted for necessities. This speaks to your bond repayment if you're paying a bond, your rent if you are renting, maybe debt repayment, whatever debts that are obviously obligatory, those are part of your necessities. Yeah, anything that constitutes necessities. And remember, not everything is a necessity. Buying a brand new shoe every month, that's not a necessity. That can fall under enjoyment money. That, listen, buying a new shoe every month gives me joy. That's for joy money. That falls under that other 10%. And then we put aside, or we budget a 5% for giving to others. Sometimes they call it black tax or helping your family. 5% goes towards that. 5% goes towards charity. That 5% is just for giving to other people, whether it's helping your family, whether it's giving to charity, whether it's something that comes up in somebody's life. You've got this 5% that's budgeted for that and it's put aside for that. If ever you feel like 5% is too little, maybe you feel like actually giving for me constitute a 10% amount, then you add from your necessities, right? So this budgeting tool is interesting because at least you've pocketed your things and it will be easy to track. Oh, actually, this is what I did, this is what I didn't do, right? Also, it also helps you get your spending in track, all right? So from looking at it this way, you can get to see that, listen, I'm actually spending a lot on enjoyment. How do I cut back? How do I manage it so that I make sure that my enjoyment money gets to a level that it is 10%? Or you find yourself, you've saved the 10% for the 10% for your upskilling, right? You've saved, you still haven't found maybe that course, that course that you like, or whatever upskilling thing that you like, you haven't found it. Keep putting away that money, but also you get to see, okay, am I putting away enough for my upskilling? And when the time comes for you to upskill, whether it's riding a bike, like anything that says to you, I'm upskilling myself, I'm learning something new, I'm doing something different, right? Sometimes you might put it away to a point where it is a lot, but as long as it's within that 10% range, and at the time, and when you get to a time where you find something that you enjoy, you can upskill yourself on, find the right swim school, whatever it is, you've got this money set aside. And then, like I said, in terms of the giving portion, sometimes we give over and above what we can, or what we should, or what you feel that is right for giving to the next person. Then you have to balance out with your necessities, because it will have to come from somewhere. If you're spending more on something, you are robbing something. If you're spending more on enjoyment, you're probably robbing your necessities. Maybe you're behind with your debts, or you are over in debt. Like, there's a cost to everything, right? If I'm going to do something, there's a cost to something. If I choose not to do a certain thing, if I choose not to budget, the cost is I will not know at the end of the month where my money went. If I choose to budget, I've sent my money where it should go. I'm able to track. I'm able to then, at the end of the day, get my finances in order. And I think it will also help manage debt, right? Because sometimes we have obligatory debt, too many debts. Some we can close off. However, because we are not tracking, because we are not budgeting, we don't even know where our money is going. Get to the end of the month and you're like, what did I do with my money? Or you get too close to the end of the month and you feel like, hey, when is payday coming? It's because perhaps you're not tracking it properly, or you're not tracking it in a way that works for you, or you over budgeting on certain things, or overspending on certain things. So this will really help you track, also help you. What I like about it is the fact that you've got a percentage for enjoyment. You've got a percentage for upskilling, which is very important because we cannot stay stagnant, as people. Very important. You've got a percentage set aside for giving, right? Sometimes we may find ourselves in a situation where family or friends feel like, listen, they get to a point where it feels like they may be entitled to you helping them even when you don't have. And because you're not budgeting a certain amount to say, okay, this is how far I can go with helping certain people or helping where I can, then you also find yourself then over committing to certain things. So it really will help you track. It also will help you see, what are you doing? Where can you balance? Where can you change? And therefore help you then with your finances, especially debt repayment, because that's what we're trying to get rid of so that we get to a healthy net worth. So I hope this is helpful. I hope it's a tool you will use. But like I said, if you've got a tool and something that's working for you, don't worry about it. This is if you are not budgeting, and perhaps this is a tool that might encourage you to budget and also help you in your ways of budgeting or how you are spending. If perhaps you've got a spending plan but you're still finding that there's more month at the end of the money, then perhaps try this tool and see if it works for you, and then maybe you'll get into a better space in terms of how you handle your finances, and how at the end of the month, listen, you are still at a good place, right? Thanks for watching. I hope this is helpful, and I hope we can continue to get to a healthy net worth.